you see it. You see the background. That's why I left the background up there for a second, so you understand what time it is. Today should be one of the most serious days, episodes that I run on my show. So once again, I'm just going to show you my background so you know what time it is. Okay. Welcome to the Burn Live Show. I'm your host, Capiche. This is my co-host, Nene. We are going to be covering court cases and cop cams every day on Thursday. Today, of all days, we are finally going to get into court cases. I've been waiting to get into court cases besides P. Diddy. I get it, but we get into more serious cases, court cases that have been happening. We're also going to get into 2 cases that are going to be up for retrial. So right now, for the next, I say 3 weeks, the next 3 episodes, we are going to be backtracking over old cases, bringing up, refreshing my audience, because this is our first time getting into this, y'all. Okay, so freshening my audience on what's going on, hopefully gathering new audiences and everything to get into this court cases. And without a further ado, I'm going to let my co-host introduce these new cases to us so we can get into them.
So we have Murdaugh is going back on trial. There was something to have to do with the court reporter was telling the jury not to trust his opinion wrong trial. Okay. But that's what I was watching yesterday and I lost it. And then we have I don't know if Letitia, she killed her 9-year-old stepson, and she is going back on trial because the prosecutor's family member was on the jury, so they have to retrial her. But the thing about that case is she admitted to unaliving her stepson, and so to me, I don't understand why we're even going back to trial for that. But yeah, this is something that I am, what's the word? These are things that I am into, I guess. I like watching trials. So
this is something that you're intrigued for justification to make sure go on. Ladies and gentlemen, without a further ado, I do have a clip to speed us all up on what's going on. So without a further ado, let's get into this so I can catch you guys up.
Court just tossed out a conviction for a woman accused of killing her stepson back in 2020 in Colorado Springs. And it's all because of a juror who deliberated her case. I'm Steve. I'm a reporter in Denver. Let me explain this all to you. A jury convicted Letitia Stout of first-degree murder back in 2023 after prosecutors accused her of stabbing and shooting her stepson Gannon and then reporting him missing. You might remember this case because it made national headlines back in 2020. Stout's attorneys in an appeal argued that the case should be thrown out because of one single juror who they referred to as Juror MB. During jury questioning, Juror MB admitted that they were related to someone who worked in the El Paso County DA's office. Specifically, this man's son-in-law was a deputy district attorney, and that juror remained on the panel and ended up deliberating in the verdict. The Court of Appeal says the presence of a juror like this is enough to toss out this conviction altogether automatically. Even if the man's son wasn't directly involved in prosecuting this case, he shouldn't have been on the jury to begin with, the court said. So they've tossed the conviction against Stout. As for how this all could happen, it's really a good question. The appeals court called this a structural error on behalf of the court, meaning
which I don't understand. In my personal opinion, we all have the right to be jury.
Whoa, no. no, 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 you do not.
Mm.
No, you do not have the right to be a jury on a trial that you have highly interest in.
That's true. You're not supposed to, but this,
That's what happened.
no.
Yes.
It was because he was a family member of the DA's office. I understand where I get that, and I understand that he's the father or in-law of the, I don't know. But as a person, I don't know. I don't know
Okay,
what I'm trying to say.
So let me say it like this. You got to think far back in your mind this, and this is what people think, even though they don't think, and they do think about it subconsciously. We're family members, right?
Uh-huh.
We may not get along. I may not like you, but if there ever comes a time out there on them streets, I'm still gonna have your back. Unless we got beef, unless it's that beef funk stuff like that, then understandable. But in a court situation, if there's beef and funk, there's no way that you would have been around. Body language, your body and your aura is not gonna let you be around somebody that you don't want to be unless you're trying to what? Hurt them. Okay, so we're going to go to the jury point of view. There's no way that I'm going to be related to you on a jury and can affect you negatively.
I've been summoned to go to jury duty.
Yet again, you as a family member
but
cannot affect no prosecutor or no attorney negatively on a jury. Only thing you can do is guilty or not guilty.
So if you're not, okay.
So what I'm saying is, if negative I can't affect you, guess what? I can affect you positively. Because how do you want this jury to sway? Give me a sign, elbows, hand gestures, whatever it takes, so I can talk to my people. If there are key things that you want the jury to tune on to, you know what I'm saying? All I got to do is shuffle my papers. So I'll make sure I'm.
I get it.
Okay, then.
I get it, but I get it.
The judge should have excused this juror. I reached out to the El Paso County DA to see if they plan on retrying
But he
Letitia
also
Stout
did
on
tell-
these charges.
He also did tell the judge that he had conflicting.
Never.
He did.
Then he told the judge, then the judge should be, in my eyes, the judge should be fired.
The video that we saved somewhere said that he told the judge.
They haven't gotten back to me yet, but you can imagine they likely will. She had been sentenced to 2 life sentences in this case. Let you know if we learn more. An appeals court just tossed.
Boy, y'all be mad. Y'all are going to be upset if that gets turned around into something else. Y'all would be heartbroken. 2 life sentences.
You cannot get on a jury conflict. I get that. It's a conflict of interest. I definitely understand that. My thing is, though, we got to find it. But he did tell that there was a conflict of interest. It's somewhere. I have it somewhere. We have it somewhere. Go to our watch later. And go.
So, is it the playlist? Probably?
Yeah, where is that at? I don't know how to do this yet. I'm still learning.
Oh, that wasn't it. My bad. Hold on. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, while I try to bring this up, let me refresh this because it's acting a fool. It's just the fact that the reason that it's retried because there was highly conflict of interest.
Yes.
And that's sad. That is sad. You know what I'm saying? Because do you feel like this case was justified? most likely people will see,
Of course.
stabbing and shooting person, got 2 life sentence.
He was a little boy.
But yet again, we're under the influence right now that her sentence may be getting dropped. Because we don't know. There's so many speculations, and that's what it is right there, speculations. And this is what I'm going to do for a second to speculate, is that tampering of witnesses, tampering of jury. And I think that's probably what you're probably going to get this case on, tampering of jury. Did this person tamper with the jury? Did this person influence the jury to sway this person to get 2 life sentences? Did this person deserve more life sentences? Did this person deserve less life sentence? Me not knowing this case, y'all, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know. All I heard is like she was found guilty. I'm shooting. So I'm showing that all the evidence was there.
It was definitely there. I watched this trial.
So for it to go back on trial, it's really probably not about the sentences. It's just about making sure that everything is documented.
It's just because of the conflict of interest.
Yeah, but if I'm defending, I'm trying to lower her sentences. And I think that's where a lot of people are going to get upset with me.
Why?
Covering these cases. Because I am going to take a second to look at from the defensive attorney, the person that defending the suspect, because that's their job. And now I understand the true defender defending the
this the Letitia Stash trial against her. She killed her or unalived her stepson, her 9-year-old stepson. But what doesn't make sense to me is they have her saying that she did it. She confessed.
Confessed, or did somebody pressure her into confessing?
Well, they do that. But this one there.
Okay, let's talk about something real fast, real quick, for just like a couple of minutes.
Okay.
In court, and this is just a broad question for people that is watching. What is more important? The facts of the case or the emotions that you can give to the jury?
For me personally, I think it's the facts. If you can prove it to me, that's the thing. There was this trial, I seen the facts. There's another trial we're going to talk about later. They didn't have enough evidence for me, for that person to even get you have the bodies, but you don't have the weapon. So for me, it's hard with some of these cases because the facts with enough evidence.
The facts with enough evidence. I'm putting this picture up like this so we can get, matter of fact, I want to do it more like, nah, do it like that. I just want the picture up so y'all can understand what case that we're talking about and I don't confuse nobody. In this trial, in this case, but we're just talking about general court cases and facts. If it was really easy to say this, put you up there, my guy. Right, you would think facts are evidence, and I truly would want to say that and agree with you too. But when you cannot say that there has not been a case out there, there was plenty enough facts out there where the emotions got involved, where it swayed the case. I remember hearing about a couple of cases. I don't know too many of them offhand, and I'm gonna get into them. Okay, I can't do it like I want. But actually looking at the facts, you got the evidence, you got the person at the crime, but yet again, emotionally, this person had a mental breakdown. And for an example, for an example, I got an example. For an example, most cases that happen like that is when a loved one comes in from work and find their partner cheating. You know, most reactions that you get is, you know what I'm saying, losing of conscience, highly breathing, mad and upset, angry, and all that. So yet again, you do something that you normally wouldn't think rationally of, because right now, when you see somebody cheating, you're thinking what? Irrational, irrational thoughts. So in court, you be like, yeah, dude came in, seen the wife, whatever, got the boyfriend out the way, stabbed him, whatever. But then in court, the prosecutor is going to say, yeah, that this man wasn't straight. He was mentally distraught. They're going to throw up, he worked 12-hour shifts, all these things to get the what? Jury emotionally like, dang, this dude worked hard. He did all this. She did this. And excusing the fact of the matter is this man came in, seen him cheating and stabbed this man or shot this man, whatever. Now we tripping off the man had a hard day, 12 hours of work. You know what I'm saying? The defender would make you go to work more than trip off the loved ones in their relationship. If y'all see where I'm going with this, where the emotions get involved in a case to where you excuse the facts. And this right here, in this case right here, you had all the facts. The girl got 2 life sentences, but you also had what? Emotional influence.
That's not. No.
Jury, right? Will you want to?
That was the problem with the other one, that she was influencing the jury. But if not in this case, this was not what this one was about.
So what's this?
This one is about the prosecutor's father or father-in-law being in the jury.
Jury. Yet again.
I guess so. I guess you could use
because I'm sitting
influence.
I'm sitting with how many people on the jury? 12?
Yeah. Then technically I think there's 14.
14? So I'm eating and talking with these guys every day until the jury's over.
I understand, but I think that when you're doing trials like this, you have to be a little emotional.
You have to?
Yes.
I think the lawyers are picking people that are probably emotionally. But they wouldn't go for somebody like me because yet again, I'm looking for facts only.
Yeah, well, that's why you could never probably be on a jury.
And that's good. I'm good.
I want to. I was supposed to, and I didn't go, and I lost out on that opportunity. But I'd do it only because I find this stuff kind of interesting.
Yeah, okay. But can you be the person to sentence somebody to jail
with evidence? I have to. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I wanted us. We're gonna have to watch the Murdaugh trial first, before the first one. Because I want you to see that they don't have no weapon. They don't have anything. I honestly, with that trial, didn't think that he was going to get the charges he got.
The Murdaugh. Let's go to this Murdaugh trial.
Okay.
Because we can't keep.
But this one, no, can we watch this real quick to explain?
But you just talked about the Murdaugh trial. And that's the one that you've seen more.
Okay. How do we go to? Yeah, because it didn't have enough evidence for me. That's why I'm saying that. What you're saying goes with this one. The other one, they have.
to deliver some breaking news out of the state of South Carolina. The South Carolina Supreme Court has just issued a 27-page decision which will give Alec Murdaugh a new trial. And in this decision, the bulk of the reason is Becky Hill. You remember, the clerk of court. Here's the conclusion of the court in their decision, saying Hill, the Colleton County clerk of court, egregiously attacked Murdaugh's credibility and his defense, thus triggering the presumption of prejudice, which the state was unable to rebut. As noted at the outset, Hill's shocking jury interference was accomplished outside the presence and knowledge of the outstanding trial judge and superbly competent and professional counsel for the state and the defense. Again, the breaking news is that Alec Murdaugh will receive a new trial in the murder of his wife and his son. Now, keep in mind,
destroying a person's characteristics and credibility as a clerk. Yeah, this case right here, getting into it for me, is we have to learn her job. I want to know her job down to where I should be able to fill out her job on the Indeed and get the position because I know how to do her job better than her. That's what I want to know with this case and for the next episodes or whatever I got to do, because that's what it's going to take for me to really get deep into understanding how in the hell do you destroy somebody's capability. You're not a defense attorney, you're not a prosecutor, you're not on a jury, you're not a judge, you're a clerk. And I'm sorry if I'm dumb and I'm supposed to know what a clerk's job is. Okay, sorry, I don't know her job. And I need to know her job. Like I said, I need to know her job very well to where, and I get saying, we're finna break it down. I'm baby finna let you know what her job description is. But I need to know.
So her job is, and her responsibility is to oversee exhibits, assisting the judge, and managing the jury. What she did.
No, finish.
Oh, it says Becky Hill was elected Colleton County Clerk of Court during Alex Murdaugh's trial in 2023. Responsible for overseeing exhibits, assisting the judge, and managing the jury. Her actions, which included improper jury influence, and later pled guilty to obstruction of justice and perjury, led to the overturning of her conviction. So she took her own personal matters and feelings about him and swayed the jury. They destroy the credibility without any evidence, just influence the public's opinion, which is very true.
Sound like it.
Because when I say, for me personally, there wasn't enough evidence. I watched the trial from beginning to end. There was not enough evidence. So to me, I'm confused how he even got the conviction in the first place. This explains it though.
How many days? How long was the trial?
Let me look. I don't remember. How long was Alex Murdaugh's trial?
Alex Murdaugh's murder trial lasted 6 weeks, ending in March of 2023. The jury found him guilty, but his conviction was later overturned, and a new trial was ordered.
Okay, so 6 weeks. And when does his new trial begin?
We don't know yet. They just announced that he was going to have a new trial. We haven't got a date yet. But see, the thing is with the first, and this is what gets
we're gonna cover the trial, and I can't say directly how we're gonna cover the trial, but we're gonna go in and cover certain days of the trial that are key to showing you what we should have seen and how I guess we just finna see how it went, okay? And then when the new trial comes, you see the difference.
And I think that there is going to be a big difference, because in the first trial there was money, there was a lot of financial stuff that he has already been he already pled guilty for. So I don't know how they're going to run the next trial, which is why I feel like we kind of should cover it a little bit. Is there any, you asked if there was any evidence of them being on the scene? I didn't see any.
That's okay. So these are things we're gonna look for all the evidence in the first trial that convicted him of his case, and that's what we're gonna do on the next couple of episodes, and we're gonna get into that, and that's how we're gonna do that. Yeah, I almost think that I'm gonna have to split up cop cams and court cases.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mm.
No, wouldn't bother me, because this is gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot,
Especially with the trials coming up. These are they were big trials. They became worldwide. Everybody was following them. So these are two cases that this is what got me into watching court trials in the first place. So was both of these cases. So I think that's why I'm a little bit more passionate about these ones.
Let's get more into the new details about the trial that's coming up for the murder.
He was convicted for the financial crimes in a separate trial. He will spend likely the rest of his life in prison, but he's getting a new trial for the double murder, which he was found guilty of. Randolph Rice is watching along with us. Initial thoughts here. I don't think there's a huge surprise. Say what you will about Alec Murdaugh, he really didn't get a fair trial when you factor in Becky Hill.
Yeah, I always thought that this was going to be a problem for the prosecution and for the state. The fact that Becky Hill was doing what she was doing with that jury, it didn't smell right. And then when you're looking at defendants' rights and protecting those rights, you've got to make sure that those trials are clean and there are no outside influences like Becky Hill. So it doesn't shock me, but I got to tell you, this is huge news, because this is going to, a lot of new questions are going to come up.
Becky Hill's finna become a new law in court. Just putting it out there. I can't wait for it. I am definitely gonna be telling people about it. Yeah, did y'all hear about the new Becky Hill law? Okay. Trust me, I can't wait. No influence. If you influence the jury, the Becky Hill ruling.
Can you click that, please? We'll get into it a little bit so we can get the evidence that they did have. Still, to me, didn't prove. But it may be different for everybody. Now, do they have proof and video evidence that he was on the scene as the unaliving happened? No. But we'll get into all of that. We're going to break it down, and you'll see what I seen, and then you can have your own opinion. But personally, with the evidence that they did show about the unalivings, it didn't.
Every Thursday.
And Thursday at 4 p.m. PST time.
7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. There we go. I will be putting out a schedule. Cause this is getting deeper and deeper. But I think showing us, learning the evidence, learning these cases. Cause right now this is just us opening these cases. It's like somebody come and sit down with us and say, "Hey, I want you to go look into these two cases, and this is how I am presenting this to you, the audience, and everybody's watching. These are our first two cases that we're going to cover every Thursday. Some days, if the trial is covering, I will go live and cover it, or Nate will go live and cover it. Doing the trials, that's different. We definitely going to be doing those live coverage of cases in courtrooms too. When those happen, especially if they're big cases or they have some influence on the state, city, and ride, we will do federal, state. We will do all of it every Thursday and exclusive.
He pled guilty to the financial crimes. Because this trial was overturned, then the charges of the unaliving do not exist at this current moment. So yes, the financial crimes he pled guilty to.
Sound like OJ.
I'm telling you, this one I was shocked. So it makes sense to me why it was overturned, because I didn't feel like there was enough. It wasn't substantial evidence to make me believe that he did it.
Gee, hey, there was not substantial evidence, but yet again, this man is put away for life for the financial.
Yeah, he got 20. I think they gave him 27 years. He's in his 60s, I think. So he's not getting out regardless. But I want to cover it. Like you said, if he's not able to do it, then I will. And if we are both able to do it, we will.
I have a lot of cases. Hey, I am all over the place. I got stock market, weed news, politics, cop cams,
Trials.
now, stock marketing, AI. Yeah, it's real deep, and I think that and cold cases with Kick Ass Nick. Oh, and Good Night Capiche.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
Good Night Capiche 5 days a week.
y'all should watch last night. Good Night Capiche. That was a hell of an episode.
It's been posted as a video, but
It's been posted, but
yeah.
That was one hell of an episode. For my people that hang out with me late nights, early mornings, salute to you. I appreciate it. But back to the trials, back to this. Let's get into more depths of what they was already expecting as lawyers that are already.
Here's to which way does the prosecution go and which way does the defense go?
Yeah, the first time around, of course, we saw the prosecution bring in a parade of witnesses which detailed to this jury the financial crimes that he was guilty of. And that was part of the appeal, the prong of the appeal, which didn't trigger the new trial. It was Becky Hill's conduct. So this next time around, a couple questions. Will the trial judge allow the same amount of financial crimes for the new jury to be exposed to? Because that was huge. And then, of course,
the financial crimes was a big part of the first case, but because he pled guilty, he doesn't know if that's going to be a big part of the second trial, which is what got me.
Couple questions. Will the trial judge allow the same amount of financial crimes for the new jury to be exposed to? Because that was huge. And then
So this murder was a financial murder or something?
Man, I'm telling you, it's very weird and complex.
If anybody heard it how I've heard this,
right?
Now that y'all want me to get deep dive. So you're trying to tell me that this was a financial murder?
No. Yes.
And you can't. It can't be both. It's got to be either or.
They put this is why.
I don't care. Hold on, before you answer that, I don't care about the conviction right now, but how he asking these questions, if that was a big,
it was a big part of the first trial.
Big part of the first trial. That sounds like this was a financial murder.
Can I also say that he was a lawyer?
Who?
Before this, Alex Murdaugh. That's where the financial crimes came from. He was stealing from his clients.
Hold on 2 seconds. This is what I really need.
What?
I just want one old news coverage of this shit.
Okay, go to the top. These are all of the retrial.
This her?
Yeah. But
I already did. Nope.
yeah, you're gonna have to scroll down a little bit.
Okay. No.
I can look it up.
Nah, I know what to do. I'm tripping. Shortcut.
I'm
Well,
learning
damn.
stuff. They don't even have it.
This happened this year. I need last year. Or what year was this?
2023, I think. But it's all talking about the overturn.
I just need a.
Who covered? Oh, I watched it on court.
It's just a day ago.
Yeah, because everybody's talking about his new trial.
11 hours ago. Day ago. God.
Okay, once. Can you put that up there so I can read that? It's too small over there.
Where?
The comment.
Right?
Yeah. Once was convicted on the financial charges, cannot be convicted on the financial. Yeah, true. Just to put the reason of the murder as financial or financial means. Yeah, I don't understand.
Great South Carolina attorney Alex Murdaugh will have yet another day in court. The state Supreme Court overturned the double murder convictions and life sentence against Murdaugh today. The justices unanimously ordered a new trial in the killing of his wife and son, claiming the trial was tainted by, quote, improper influence of the county clerk, Becky Hill. Murdaugh, a prominent attorney from a legal dynasty in the state, was convicted 2 years ago in the June 2021 slaying of his wife, Maggie, and their 22-year-old son, Paul. The trial drew national attention after being featured in true crime documentaries and podcasts. And just to be clear, this is not a get out of jail card for.
Like, look at this guy. This guy looks tall as hell.
He is. And here, can I show you what he looked like before he went to jail? Let me show you what he looked like before he went to jail.
Kill a 23-year-old young military age kid.
Well, the thing is that they say he did it for financial reasons. That's why I don't understand.
You don't understand what? You got to ask
They're
the
saying
question.
because his son was in a boat accident, so they were being sued by the girl whose family
he was in a boat accident.
his son was.
His son was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they were being sued. So I guess they were trying to say that he unalived his son and his wife because
He couldn't pay the lawsuit.
pretty much. But they never really said that. They just brought up more.
Well, they're not going to say that because there's no substantial evidence of that.
There was no
You can only allude to that because what brought him on to kill his people? Okay, his kid. Is that his blood kid or his step kid?
No, that's his biological kid.
Ah, damn, you're a real one. Damn, you's a real one.
This is what this man looked like before he went to jail. In the night of the unaliving.
Central 717 scene is secured at a Whiskey Fox, Whiskey Mike, both gunshot wounds.
Warm
to the head.
man. All right, so he got some strength.
Sir, I want to let you know because of the scene, I did go get a gun and bring it
Okay,
down here.
it's in your vehicle? Do you have any guns on you at all?
No, sir. It's leaning up
Okay.
against the side of my car.
Okay. You're fine, man. You're fine. Turn around for me.
I don't have any. guns.
Okay. Yes, sir. I see that. Okay. This is your wife and son.
Oh, and son.
Okay.
It's bad.
Y'all,
It's
former.
bad. Take the bullets.
It's not a farm.
Yes, sir. This is the firearm you brought from inside the house?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I went and get. This is a long story. My son was in a boat wreck a few months back. He's been getting threats. Most of it's been benign stuff we didn't take serious.
Okay.
He's been getting like punched. I know that's somebody. I know that's what it is.
Okay. When did you get home? Right when you called, or did you go to the house first? Where is the house?
I came to the house first. My mom has late stages Alzheimer's, and my dad is in the hospital.
Okay.
I left. I don't know what time. I can go back on my phone and tell you the exact times. Did you check?
Okay. Did I check what?
Did you check them?
We got medical guys that are.
Look at the shed.
Yeah, it had a shed, and then on this side is where his wife and kid is. It's a barn, but they
Yeah,
house
farmland.
dogs.
A reason I'm saying farm land is because, yet again, when you seen him in trial, I'm gonna keep it real since I'm the newest to this, so people can understand where I'm coming in. When I seen him in a suit and them glasses on, he looked at high nerdish, like I thought he sat behind a desk. I had plenty of good jokes in my head until we seen this, and I was like, oh, farmland, man, that means strength. You know what I'm saying? Like, at first I was thinking 23-year-old military age kid. No, never mind. Yes,
He had a problem too.
but still, that man's has strength because he works, he cuts, he's in there. He works with his hands. So him offing them too, it's a little bit more easier to say that.
Believable.
Yeah,
Right.
very, very much more believable. Too much more believable. I'm just keeping it real. I'm new to this, y'all. So, hey, some people, if he was a desk office clerk person, what's her name?
Bed.
What's her name in the other case?
No, that's the same. This is the same.
No.
You're talking about Letitia.
No, yeah, Letitia. What's her girl? Mary. What's the girl?
You talking about the one? Her name is Becky.
Becky.
That's from this case.
Okay. Yet again, if he was doing Becky's position, I'd have been like, ladies and gentlemen, you blow it up here. If people want me to read body language.
What I wanted you to read his testimony.
In court, I'm gonna do that too.
Okay.
But yet again, we got to start here. This is the first time. Bunch of sweat, fat belly,
Yep.
broad shoulders, and big arms. Hey, shed full of stuff. My boy is very active. Okay, old man is active. He can do something. Son getting picked on. Boat ride. Boy, y'all got money.
They got in an accident and the girl passed away. So that's the first thing he said.
That's what they're gonna do. Okay.
What are they doing? Can they hurry?
They are. Yes, sir. That gentleman that was out here already, he's one of the battalion chiefs. Okay. How did you pull up? You from back there?
I went to the house and they weren't home, which was odd. I tried to call,
Okay.
and then I knew they had been down here before I left to go to my mom's.
Okay.
And so that is loaded.
Okay.
You might want to unload it. But
Is this the only firearm with
He
you?
looks like he's trying to look
This is
innocent.
the only one, or is there any more in the truck?
I believe that's it.
You think that's the only one? Okay.
I'm 99%.
Do you normally
certain that's
have
right.
any other firearms in your vehicle?
I don't, but
Okay.
occasionally there.
dragging
Occasionally
a
there's a
little bit.
pistol in there.
Okay. Just wait right here for me for a second, okay?
Okay.
I'm trying to get the information. It's a great trailblazer.
His wife
Chicken coop?
is right. No, this is where the dogs were.
Correction.
You're a dog
They were
breeder.
like no, I don't know if it was breeding. They were like dog house. They were housing like dogs. People would come drop off their dogs and they would feed them and stuff.
Dog sitters?
Yeah, but in this, they put the dogs in there. Like they were like a dog hotel or something. But there's the reason why it's covered. I think that's his son right there, or his wife, one of them.
Are they talking about the blur?
Yeah. No, his son is in the room right there, and his wife is outside. I think I don't remember.
Yes, sir. We're going to discuss it later and find out.
Okay, just I was making sure I didn't miss something.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed he was butchering his words when he first came in there. But yet again,
Well, the dad's over there. Actually, hold.
you have to show some type of state of shock in these matters, no matter how you want to be guilty or not guilty. I'm not looking at that part right there. But when you see the cops and you're trying to at least persuade them under some type of influence of what you need them to do so they can stay up off of you, you're going to have to, you know what I'm saying, stutter your words, be a little bit coherent, you know what I'm saying? But yet again, he was cooperative, and that already threw them off, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's guilty or not, they still gonna do their job. Like, yeah, look, we're gonna take you in question because you're the main suspect, and they're always gonna be the main suspect. But that stuttering stuff can be from the fact that shock that damn you did it. Now, did he call the police on himself?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you need to sit your ass there.
He called the police. But the thing is, like I said, they don't have the weapon. We have him at the place over here. We have him at the place right before they happened.
I'm not even finna say it. You know he got a friend somewhere.
Well, when we
Hold on,
dive,
show me, send that to my messenger.
what?
That land. Because if we're gonna deep dive, we're gonna deep dive. Obviously, do have some type of business. Like I said,
He was a lawyer.
hey man. What the hell?
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I got a better one.
No, that's perfect.
You want to see inside the house?
No,
Oh.
I don't. That's not my point. You just proved my point so well with this picture that I'm gonna show everybody. You just proved my point so well. Ladies and gentlemen, this man, stop playing. Stop playing. Where's my neighbor? So and I'm a what? I'm a lawyer? Man, stop playing. Somebody didn't pull up, come grab this and go away. I spent the whole time that the police took to get there to erase the person that came and left tracks. Because any other tracks and anything else is there, I can care less about. Let the police do more. Only thing I need to get rid of is whoever took the evidence away. I got all. That's just a tire track coming, a tire track leaving, and footprints. Easy. And I don't know nothing about this case. I'm just saying for the simple fact I'm looking at that land, and y'all just told me factually that The weapon wasn't there. I'm looking at that land. I'm like, of course the weapon ain't there. I'm looking at the land like the weapon be anywhere.
They went in this house. Okay, we're gonna get into the case, but they went in this house. This is where all his weapons were. They were gone. They have video of who took the weapons out of the house.
Yeah, I want to see that in the trial and stuff like that. But looking at that land and understand what you were about, you know, I didn't expect the evidence to be there anyway. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Stop playing with me. He was fed up with that kid getting on his nerve, costing him more money, paying lawsuits because people know that your daddy's a lawyer. Oh, we just sue him easily get him. Crazy. Come on. I know what I want to see. This crazy. Yeah, we're gonna get into this trial. We're gonna get deeper. Next week we're gonna go into one of the court cases, into the room of seeing. I just want to put this up there for the one time.
They never found him. We'll get into it. It's deep.
If you have the video evidence of someone else taking the gun,
They never found him.
if they're considered, I know some things that are found are not substantial evidence. And some judges, some lawyers ask them to take other things out. So, you know, that kind of plays a part too. Well, yet again, I'm saying stuff from other cases that I know that can and cannot happen.
Yeah, we'll start going through this stuff on. It's up there. Oh, there we go.
So, which kid, I wonder?
It's the youngest one. The one on the left is still very much alive. It's the wife and the one standing next to him.
Boy, he looked like trouble. I don't know the kid. Typical kid. Yo, everybody kid that because people misunderstand me when I say bad. They were like, oh my God, I can't call. Listen, there are typical bad things that you as a parent should already expect your kids to do because you did it. And if you did it, why would you not expect your kids to probably venture off into something? Okay? I'm not going to sit up here and like, oh, my kid would never make a mistake. I raised them better than that. And then you got the police talking about, hey, your kid robbed 7-Eleven. Oh, not my kid. The fuck you mean not my kid? My kid out there in the streets and I don't know who he hanging out. So
what gets me though is the first thing he said to the cops is my son was in an accident and he has been getting threats.
Looting till that somebody else came on my property and off my son and was caught.
Because of a lawsuit.
Because of a lawsuit.
He was unalived in the boat accident.
Right. These people won't.
They were all drunk, all of them. So, you know, I get it. I've watched documentaries about that case. I've done my fair share of digging deep when it comes to this case. So,
all right, y'all.
Well, next Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, we'll be here. And I understand these cases. And I'm, like I said, today was just presenting you the cases that we're going to get into. Next week is going to go in deep with the evidence and what we can find and what all we can show. And we'll be a lot more organized and ready for the show for you guys. Financial, man. I see that property. I'm like, boy, if you cost me my land and they trying to take my egg, and I look here, look here, y'all. Look here. I can go fishing. on my own property. Stop playing. You better not take that away from me. You got drunk. And I'm not saying that it's true, but you have to understand the elements of people wanting you to pay the consequences of their kids being lost. The loss of somebody's kids is irreplaceable. Okay. I don't care how you look at it. I know a personal situation of a kid losing a life, and we went around having to hide schoolmates around town because a family wanted blood. So yes, I do know and I do understand from a personal point of view of how a parent will feel about the loss of a loved one. I also lost a truly best friend in middle school to a blood clot in our heart. Did not get a chance to graduate. So I do understand the loss of like precious kids that not getting to see a future, and you had so much potential and opportunity and want for them. Okay, I just want to say that and clear that with that, so nobody be like, oh, how I look at the trial and how I say my things. I do understand that. I've been around. But yet again, you taking away that fishing. Man, people do desperate things when their back is so-called against the wall. And you don't know what somebody's back against the wall is until they're faced with their back against the wall. I think so.
I don't think there was enough evidence, so personally, I get it.
Yet again, he's a lawyer. He should be good at this. Yeah. I got a nice ending. From the courtrooms to the, hold on, no, I should go backwards. To the jails, to the jail cells, to the courtrooms. Oh, that's hard. That's hard.
I like that one you said yesterday.
That was probably for that episode. Those type of episodes. I can't use
On Creed. You forgot.
Yeah. That was supposed to be my
beginning.
beginning.
A real good one though.
That was supposed to be my
Yeah.
intro.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's my slogan. Can you say it?
No, because I forgot exactly how you said it.
Oh, Burn Live. Looking for the concrete evidence. I'm gonna work on it. But from the jail cells to the courtrooms. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Anytime that you're watching this, we appreciate you tuning in. And with that, I would love to say, stay safe, everybody.
This motherfucker is locked.
Talking, I'm in love, baby.